Test. Oh, okay. Hello. Hello, 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 hello. Sorry that I was missing. Upload. Just not uploading videos for the past few months, except that I got to update, which Daniel is doing fine, by the way, and he's doing great. And he's a large boy now. So I had some evolution with my not new but all the new-ish series. It just the season 2 of Terraflop, except it's not Terraflop but Frigil Kalim or whatever. Mm. So let's look at our new animals that have evolved. So it's creamy creamy Jella. Oh, wait a second. Anyway, um, so creamy Jella, fluffy jellyfish. I just went with jelly because in the thingamabob where you change languages, I translated English into Latin, and jellyfish just spat out jellyfish. So I went with jelly, which spat out gelata. So I shorten it, and let's look at this guy. So are you asking? Oh, it's fluffy. That's quite alien. It's not quite alien. It's uh, it's it's not alien. It might seem strange because underwater creatures generally, especially the deep ones, don't have fur. But always there are exceptions. Exceptions. Like those crabs that you have seen the videos of the seafloor. Yes, those fluffy yeti crabs. They use insulation as fur to keep up with the really unbalanced temperatures, like 4 degrees when you're far away from the geothermal vent, and 500 whatever degrees Celsius when you are near the vent. So it's kind of hot. This guy is actually our first predator. You can see these spines that he grows. He, this guy is actually a neotonic stage of this guy, and it adopted neotony as this lava form thingamabob. It's kind of like axolotls, but uh, it has evolved into its own separate thing, uh, just or rather just really baby thing. It's like a axolotl of the how was it? Frigil Kalim, the planet was called. Yeah, it's names. So it's fluffy. This fluff is just the shell, which is the just the which is the nature, which it has devolved into this thin. What is wrong with my finger? Oh, anyway, into this small thing, plate thing, and uh, it has these like it looks like spikes to you, but when we close to it, it's actually scales overlapping. It's like mammal fur. Like mammals have fur, and it's like these scales of not keratin, keratin. I think it's, I don't know, proteins. Proteins. The name of for proteins. Keratin. I think it's keratin that makes up horns and fur and feathers and scales and nails and os. And instead of that, it's calcium carbonate. It makes like these scales that function to make the hair slightly floppy. There are these like sensory hairs and like temperature blobs, and it this guy reproduces by mating. So here are the reproductive organs, this pink thing, and this yellow thing are the stomach. Why is it laggy? Like the video is really laggy. I don't know why. Maybe because my battery is low and I have to have my phone on the charger to record. Actually, it's actually really late. It's really dark outside. I can't stretch my phone because of the charger, and it does kind of like a kissing motion to mate, and then it spits out a smaller version of an adult. And also, fun fact: the lungs, the stomach, also functions like lungs. Inefficient, but enough for this small thing. Oh, also, I forgot. Totally, I forgot. Wait a second. So the thing that I accidentally did uh, didn't add its this thing, which tells you how large this thing is. So this thing is about like 5 centimeters, which isn't a lot. That's why the inefficient lungs for water exist, and the oxygen from the water, which is quite poor, goes through the heart walls all the way to the bloodstream and gets pumped everywhere. Let's look at the tentacles, if I can correct see them. Not that this is not. This is so. It actually has some mobility with muscle rings, which contract the blood vessels and make a blood pressure move the arm, kind of like those primitive life forms we had in season one. These spikes grow like this. They grow from this from this base disc, which I highlighted in pink, and they start like these granules of calcium carbonate. They slowly grow into these like curved hooks, which as they age and because it's calcium carbonate, then they don't get repaired. They just get eroded and sharper actually, but they crack and fall off to the sea floor, contributing to the form of the sediment. That is also true for the hairs. The hairs and these are really brittle. Okay, that's everything for Kunja of Layla, Fluffy Jelly. So let's go to Adip, Adip Jella, Fat Jelly. You know why. Also, I forgot. These guys have the air bubbles that the Fortune had, which are used for insulation. Then they were insulated against pressure and high temperatures, and now they insulate against low temperatures only. Let's look at this guy. This guy is much more primitive than this guy in the evolutionary lineage thing. and it has made its own uh, things. It has evolved its own things. Like this one has evolved here. This one has evolved its own things. Also, I forgot this guy is like the Duplume F4 plume, which we showcased in episode 2 or 1. I can't remember, it's really late. So, this guy eats extremophiles that live higher in the water column, like in the zones when light can kind of penetrate through, but it's really, really dim. How is it called? Twilight Zone? I don't know. Twilight Zone. Let's go with Twilight Zone. And it eats also nutrients that are dispersed. This guy is 5 centimeters big, long, large, and it's plated. And under those plates, there are centrally hairs, and instead of air bubbles, those bubbles are cells filled with fat. So these guys officially can get obese, which is really uncommon because higher in the water column where it's colder, like hovering around 0 degrees Celsius, which wouldn't freeze the water, the sea ice, but would but freeze fresh water. That's why these guys maintain a higher salinity, kind of. Osmosis is harder for them. So these guys has evolved fat, the plates, and eggs. They mate, and they have eggs. Reproduces via eggs. They like do the kissing motion, and then like the eggs a little develop, and they lay, and the eggs like float around until they find optimal conditions to hatch. Sometimes even months. So they have their own fat tissues. They use their stomachs as lungs too, but less efficient. They use like pores in the skin, which I forgot to visualize, and they have like these things because they are filter feeders, and they have these like hollow tubes which have muscles at the base of them, which can move them like when you get goosebumps. There are like tiny muscles near your hairs that pull the hairs up. So this works kind of like that. They have also like this blood pressure system in their arms, but it's less effective. That's all for today. Hope you are having a nice day, and bye bye.